Hello and welcome to part 2 of lesson 1 in Scratch programming, where we discuss basic loops and basic programming ideas. So actually I haven't changed much from the last video because I still need to illustrate a few things to you. So let's go ahead and write a really basic program. I want my Scratch cat to begin walking, and I want him to walk from this part of the stage to this part of the stage to this part of the stage. Now, I want you to start thinking abstractly. My Scratch cat isn't really going to walk. He is going to be moving, but he's not really walking. The thing that is changing in our program is that we want our X position, our horizontal movement of our cat, to change. We want him to walk one way, and then we want him to walk another way. We want him to do this automatically. So we want to give the cat a very basic list of instructions so that he can do that. Now, we can get very complicated. We can say, okay, Scratch cat, I want you to walk to the right. When you touch the wall, move to the left, and keep doing that. And illustrate what I mean by that. So the first things first is I need to check and make sure that my Scratch cat is facing the correct way. So I can see from right here, I'll zoom in, he is facing 90 degrees, which is to the right in this program. You can see that this is a circle. And of course, a circle has 360 degrees, and this is at a right angle from 0. I'll illustrate that more to you with a little sprite that I have. If I zoom out right here, so that sprite that I showed you before, that is hidden. Let me show you. I'm going to show him. So right here, where we have north, south, east, and west, we also have a circle. So this is exactly like the directions inside Scratch. Okay, so up is always going to be 0 degrees. 90 is always going to be to the right, and 180 is always going to be down. Now, Scratch does something different. And if you want your Scratch cat or any other sprite to move to the left now, you can't say 270 degrees. Or you can, but what Scratch likes to do is it likes to say negative 90. And that's really the only thing you really need to remember. For some reason, it just likes to deal with negative numbers. I think it's because, well, I'm not really sure why. Anyway, you can go ahead and hide that again. I just right-clicked on here and clicked hide. So let's go ahead and get this done. So every program needs a command to start. Now, Scratch always works by going on the green flag right up here. So we're always going to say when the green flag is clicked to start our initial program. There are other ways to make buttons to make your program start when something else happens, but it's always for now going to run on when the green flag is clicked. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our events, and we're going to say when the green flag is clicked. So once again, the brown events block, and we're going to say when the green flag is clicked. So that's going to be the beginning of our whole program. So I'm going to grab this, and drag it over, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell my Scratch cat, since he's already facing 90 degrees, I'm going to tell him to start moving. So I'm going to go to my motion, and I'm going to tell him to move 10 steps. And you can see I made that mistake by programming on this one and not my Scratch cat. So I have my Scratch cat selected now, and now I'm going to do when the green flag is clicked, move 10 steps. Now, your computer program is only going to do this action one time, and the reason why it's only going to do it the one time is because there's only one move block. He's going to move 10 steps, but there's only one move block. So this is what I mean. If I click the green flag, my Scratch cat moved. If I click it again, he'd move again. So the computer is only doing this program, this block of code, this sequence, one time every time I click the flag. So I can do that over and over and over again manually, but that doesn't really serve my purpose. So I'm going to move my Scratch cat back. And this is where loops come into play. So I'm going to take off this move 10 steps. Sorry. Little cough. I'm going to take off this move 10 steps block, and I'm going to get a control block, a yellow control block. And now what I'm going to start using is a forever loop. Okay, so a forever loop is going to take this block of code and it's going to do it forever. Just like an ant on a wheel. Let's see if I can draw a little ant here. I'm going to tell my ant to move forward and I'm never going to tell him to stop. So he's just going to keep going around and around and around. Now remember, I want my Scratch Cat to walk a certain distance, touch the edge, and then walk the other way. So do you think this code will do it? Let's find out. So I'm going to take forever, plug it in there, and I'm going to put move 10 steps inside of the loop. It needs to be inside the loop. Inside the loop. Inside forever. So now when I hit the green flag, the Scratch Cat moves. But he hits the wall and he stops. He's still wanting to move, but he's reached the limit of the space that he can walk. So I'm going to hit stop. So why is that? Why isn't he touching the wall? Well, he's doing exactly what I told him to do. And the only thing I've told him to do is this right here. I've just told him to move 10 steps to the right. So let's make him bounce now. Now, Scratch already has this really nifty block in here, and I'll explain more about what it does, but it's very, very simple. It's inside motion, and I want you to try and see if you can find it. Go ahead and pause this video right now and see if you can find the block that I'm talking about. And then you can unpause it later and we'll go back over it. But go ahead and pause it right now. Okay, maybe you found it, maybe you didn't, but the block I was talking about inside motion was the if on edge bounce block. Now, just like our forever block, or our move 10 steps block, it needs to be inside the forever block for it to work. If I put it on top, it's going to check this one time, and if it's not true, if he's not touching the edge, he's not going to bounce. So let's try that out. Oh, I have the code, but it's not in the right spot. Remember, I want him to do that forever. So I'm going to stop it. I'm going to move it down. I'm going to take the if on edge bounce, and it doesn't matter if it's above it or below it right now. I'm going to put it below. Snap it back. And now, when I hit the green flag, Scratch Cat moves back and forth across the screen, right? We still have a problem, though. What's our problem? The problem is that now he's facing upside down. He's facing the correct direction, but he's facing upside down. That's where this little information I comes into part, because we're going to change his rotation style now. So I'm going to go ahead and go and look at his rotation style. I'm going to go get out of here, click on I, and you can see he's changing his correct direction, right? He's changing to 90 and negative 90 instead of, I think it's 270. So all we want to do is change his rotation style right here. So his rotation style, right here, I think this is just like flip or rope B. He's able to rotate. This one right here is kind of like a free one. We'll talk about more of these ones later, but we want this one right here. That's going to keep him moving right and left and staying upright. So let's go ahead and test that out. Zoom out, and I'm going to go ahead and click it. And there we go. He is moving back and forth across the stage and staying upright. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Please tune in for more, and happy coding.